It's Week 9 of the National Football League. And this one features the versatile Cordero Patterson.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it's a good Week 9 matchup here on a Monday night between the Atlanta Falcons and the Houston Texans. I'm Brandon Gaudin, to my right, Charles Davis. Happy to be with you. And, CD, we've got a couple of very potent offenses about to take the field below us in this one.
Both potent, but they certainly go about things in different ways, don't they, partner? On one side, you've got the #1 rushing offense in the league. They want to run, and wear you down and own the time of possession. But then on the other side, you got an offense who thinks pass first, second, and third, and they're up near the top of the league in passing yards, and they like to strike quickly. We'll see which style of offense prevails in this one.
And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading him out, the former Stanford man. At quarterback, it's Davis Mills.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Start on the ground with Pierce. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. One of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Mills. Looking sideline, incomplete. This defense for the Falcons, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game?
Mills can't get away, and down he goes. Lorenzo Carter in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Cordero Patterson deep for Atlanta. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And taken at the 46. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So here are the Falcons with great field position to start out. And they are led out there by their mobile quarterback.
But when I reviewed last week's game and saw the 4 touchdown passes that he threw, I thought about you during the Turkey Bowl last year.
Yeah,
you guys
right.
had the same stats, except he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award with his.
He got touchdowns, I got picks. I like going back watching the film with you, and we thought it was a good performance in person. Obviously was, but you thought even better on tape. It was really something to watch.
Yeah, but I love was how he spread it around. A lot of people involved in the passing offense. 4 touchdown passes culminated it.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. That's brought in downfield by London. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one good for 26 and a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. Rolling to it. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Josh Allen from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So, CD, you look at this offense and what they've been able to do. 8-0, perfect through the first 2 months of the year. Second half of the season still to come. We get that. But what kind of a percentage chance do you think that they have of running the table?
Partner, I think it's hard to say because history would tell us that the chances aren't good at all. We've seen a lot of good teams get to this point, and then they have that one bad week and takes them out of the running. I'm going to say 25%, and I feel like I'm being generous with that number.
And he's got it. A lot of work to get away and outside of the pocket, but no actual yardage there on the catch. It's 2nd down. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like you did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
But how many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket, doesn't matter where they go.
This to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown, Atlanta. Kyle Pitts, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
At issue here, does the football make contact with the ground before he secured it? And I think some of these angles are going to give us a pretty good look.
Secured is the important part because the ball can touch the ground, but it can't be loose when it does. So that's what they're going to have to try and figure out.
Extra point forthcoming. It's good, and that gives the Falcons a 7-0 lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was the tight end Kyle Pitts finishing it all off on the touchdown reception. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. 4-4, their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we've wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
Being chased out left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him. So now after the sack, Mills and the Texans needing to navigate a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. This pass is caught by London. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, Falcon football. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Throws right back to London, complete again. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him think. Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Back in the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball to come in his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Koo knocks this one through the post, and that will extend their lead even further. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well, and kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Koo just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Well, Houston's offense taking over again. And they are right at the 500 mark on the year and got there with the victory a week ago.
And I think right now I put myself in the shoes of the head coach and say, all right, time to reset a little bit. And I don't give my team a win one for the giver speech. But I do say, look, we haven't played our best football yet, but we are at 500 and we're still in it. Let's try and string a few of these victories together, and we're capable of doing so.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called Madden.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Here's Cameron Johnston now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taking it about the 36. A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. We'll get another look at Drake London as this offense returns to the field. Sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, that means he warrants your attention. And right now, precision is going on with their offense. Kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist. You know, that good stuff. Got to knock that off somehow. Chip away at that timing. Change things up a little bit and make them go to other things and make them do those things better.
Yeah, try to make him uncomfortable. Not many teams have been able to do that so far this year. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. And that one results in 35 yards. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown, Atlanta. Kyle Pitts. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Well, he's regarded as one of the best athletes among NFL tight ends, Charles, and it certainly was on display right there.
And as we've seen this league continue to grow and develop, I think the tight end position is becoming harder and harder to defend because now it's elite athletes playing that position, not just the big guys who can block. How about his ability to get downfield and make plays against any defense?
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This will be fielded inside the 5. Now Brown, he lost the football. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. So they get the 1-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
Koo now for the point after. And the lead is now 24. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Going for it with Pierce. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to a 1st down.
On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. Fielded just inside the 30. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. They have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Into the hands of London. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 23 yards the pickup there. They'll look to throw now on first down. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
Got a man, it's London. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? Okay, so the personal foul penalty, and those are some important yards lost right there.
Yeah, it all comes down to discipline, doesn't it? And every team tells us that they coach it.
Touchdown! Kyle Pitts, as the first half is winding down.
And the Falcons would extend their lead here just before halftime.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point.
And the route is on here in this first half. A drive there of just 4 plays.
And it was the tight end Kyle Pitts finishing it all off on the touchdown reception. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass through the 21. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started out at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Patrick Mahomes leading the way again as his guys run their mark to 8-1. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they were losers in their ball game to the visiting Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott sharp in the victory as his guys get back within a game of 500. Finally, let's get out to Southern Nevada and see what's happening with the Raiders at home in Las Vegas. And they were losers in that ball game to the visiting Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. Next, a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Falcons. And they've had all sorts of success thus far tonight throwing the football, as they're on pace to throw for 300-plus yards if things continue the way they've been going. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they were on the other end of the spectrum in terms of passing efficiency. That's going to need to improve in the second half to come. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in this second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. Fielded right around the 8. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Time to get another look at Drake London and the Falcons offense.
He's been a load for them to handle defensively, I know that much.
But look at him. He's got 7 catches on the game, and he's starting to shred them a little bit because not only is he catching them, he's picking up good yardage, keeping the chains moving, ball control, you name it. This big guy, what did you say? He's been a load for them.
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Falcons.
Drake London,
73 yards.
and the Falcons come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack the defense and take them out of the game.
Coup for the extra point.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half.
First and 10 now for Mills and the Texans.
At their 25-yard line.
They'll get things started with a carry by Pierce.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. To throw, Mills. And that is incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Let's take it inside his own 40. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. So here are the Falcons to take over on offense. They've gone 2 months without a loss, 8 straight wins for them. And they've got the lead here in this one as well, trying to make it 9 in a row. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Touchdown, Falcons!
Drake London
with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year.
And the Falcons are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go.
Coup now for the point after.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown.
Following the touchdown, here's Coup to kick off.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
The Texans offense set to regain possession. But the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook. The bottom line is don't quit competing.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
On 3rd down, here's Mills.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Lorenzo Carter able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Here's Cameron Johnston now, standing just about on his own goal line. It's fielded at the 45.
Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards.
Now the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive, as it'll begin in enemy territory already. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Mills now.
They're connecting here with DJ Shark.
And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. And they'll throw again. Here's Mills.
And his throw is incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
On second down, here's Pierce.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. The open man is Shark. It's complete.
And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Houston. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Our first down throw for Mills.
Under pressure, and down he goes. Lorenzo Carter in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves. Every position.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Rashaan Evans, the linebacker, recording the sack there.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
This offense 2 for 2 on third downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long.
From the shotgun, it's Mills.
Yeah, that one going to be knocked away and incomplete. So 2 third down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Houston. Taken from just outside the 30.
Found good room to run there. Returns at 14 yards. And it will be Falcon football.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4.
Looking for Campbell downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Falcons. Paris Campbell, 54 yards. And the Falcons add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This one fielded at the 5. And he returns this to the 22. This offense back out and set to go for their next drive. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Mills. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Richie Grant. And the Falcons will take over possession here up at the 44. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Ready? Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Credit that sack to Marcus Davenport. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. Now a fair catch called for and made right on the 45-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
So now after the sack, Mills and the Texans needing to navigate a 3rd and long. He's going to let it fly. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. Well, this game was already decided, Charles, let's be honest. But now another feather in the cap of this defense as they pick them off for the 2nd time.
You're right about that. Things have been going pretty well for them, to put it mildly. But they're still out there hunting for big plays and get another one right there.
Throw left side. There's London. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Falcons, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts.
You spent your whole life trying to blow up, but Elohim never had time for donuts. The beat go ham, no time for cold cuts. The game like Big Pitch came to join up. Yeah, I'm still independent, ain't sold a million records yet. Used to be on my check.